It's 2020. I'm back finally with a new video. I took a little break there because life gets hectic sometimes. But we're in the new year and I'm finally free to make videos again. And speaking of videos, I'm making one today, obviously. I'm redoing a video I did about 2 or 3 years ago of how to make your own fanime or web series here on YouTube. If you're new to my channel, then you probably don't know I like to make fanime. I have joined weekly challenges and, I've just tried making my own a couple times over the past couple years. I'm no professional in any way. I'm very much far from being a professional, but I thought I'd just share my tips and tricks I've come up with over the past couple years that I haven't shared with you guys yet. Also, I feel like that video just needs to be updated because people still commented on it to this day. And I'm just like, no, don't watch it. Anyways, let's just get started with how to make your own series here on YouTube, my tips and my tricks. Okay, again, I'm not a professional, so go hate on me in the comments all you want on my weird ways of doing things. But first off, when I want to make a series, I usually go back in my sketchbooks and my old files and my old documents of trying to find like a story that could work and I could polish up to make it into something new and better. Or, you just make a new one up because that works too. But I'm lazy and I like to take the easy way out. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my old video, but I'm mentioning it again because that's one thing I still do this day. Like my most recent weekly fanime challenge I did, Ocean Kiss, yeah, that story has been kind of on the back burner for a couple years and I finally turned it into something watchable. I mean, it's not really good, but it's watchable enough. I did it on a weekly basis. I had like 5 days to make an episode. Don't kill me. So after I figure out what story I'm doing, the genre, and all the little nitty-gritty details of it, I usually go to the whole character process, which usually is probably the easiest and most fun part in my opinion. I love making characters up, even though I really don't have that many. I still find it really fun when I actually do get the time to make a new character up. Because honestly, the possibilities are endless. You could make any character you really want to make. You're free to make your character the best person or either the worst person. You have endless creative control over that. Usually the whole character creating process, that usually takes a couple days, maybe even less than that. It just really depends on what kind of project you want to start. But most people I feel like have characters from like a long time ago they really just revamp. At least in my experience from talking to other people who are in the same community, they usually do that. Again, up to you. Alright, so you have your characters, you have your story, you have all the things you need to really start writing it. And maybe even getting voice actors because that is very important too. You don't really want a series or a show without any voices because that might turn a lot of people off. I'm not saying you have to have voice actors, but I feel like a lot of people prefer it. But again, it's all up to you. It's all up to kind of the story you're writing. If it's like silent, if you're like doing like an old classic kind of show, then yeah, I feel like no voice actors would work for that. But if you're doing more of like a modern setting, I feel like voice actors are kind of essential for that. It just really depends on the type of story you're writing. Honestly, I recommend getting your voice actors before you start writing the actual script for your episode because then you know what your character sounds like, kind of their personality a bit more, because I feel like voices really add a whole new level of personality to that character. And it really just makes writing the episode better if you just know what they sound like. For finding voice actors, I recommend going to your friends before anything. If you have some people you know on Discord or if you're in like some servers that you know people voice act in, I'd say ask there before you start a whole casting call club project because I feel like friends are always the best go-to, and that's why I usually do. Half of my projects are actually my friends voice all the characters, which is why I use like the same 5 people every time I make a new thing because like they're reliable. But going back to what I said about Casting Call Club, that's a really good website. Of all casting call websites, use that one. It's super easy to use. Like you could probably make a casting call within 10 minutes. Like for real, it's really easy. And I think some people have some problems with the mobile, but I'm not sure because I usually make my projects on my computer. If you're like a mobile user, let me know if it goes well because I'm not really sure on that part. Oh yeah, very important. When making your casting call and writing all the audition lines out, make sure you add some kind of action or some kind of, way to make your voice sound like the character. Like if the character is like energetic, make sure to put like fun and energetic in the actual audition lines. Because if you don't do that, then like the person auditioning for that character is going to be kind of all over the place and you don't want that, okay? You don't. All right, moving on, we're doing a total 360. once you finish your casting call, you have your voice actors picked. Finally, at last, you are free to write the script if you didn't do that already. But again, I recommend waiting. You know? I'll show you an example of the way I write my scripts. Again, not the greatest way in the world and totally not professional at all because we're doing this for YouTube. But like, I usually put the character name on top, then I write sort of like action that they're doing, and then I write the actual line that the voice actor has to say. I feel like this process is kind of simple and easy for the voice actor to read. I usually make different copies of each script for each voice actor too, instead of like highlighting each voice actor's line with like a specific color. Like, don't do that. It makes everything confusing. And then once you're done with the script, just send it off to the voice actor and then make sure you set a deadline, and then you'll get the voice actor's lines back soon enough if they don't totally ghost you, because sometimes they will do that if you don't find reliable ones. I've never really had that happen to me before, so I can't really say much about it. I'm sorry. If it happens, then just leave me a comment and I'll try to help you. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Emily, what do I do now? I finished all the busy work. Can I actually animate now? Yeah, you can. Unless you want to make like an intro or like an ending theme for your series, because like that's also kind of essential if you wanna. Some people just do like title cards and like then they introduce the episode, if you know what I'm saying. You don't really have to do like a whole full-blown opening sequence if you don't want to. It's kind of optional, but I do recommend it because they're really fun and they really get you excited for the episode that you're making. Also, if you upload an opening before the actual episode of a show, then you know your project's like officially announced and people know it's coming, and then everyone gets excited because they saw like the opening theme and they're like, oh yeah, can't wait for the episode to come out. I recommend doing that because that really works. It really gets everyone on train with your show that you're producing. So yeah, now you're probably animating the episode now. Good for you. After that, you know, that whole editing process, that's also a whole other world. Editing is hard. It's not easy. It depends on what program you're using too. If you're using Windows Movie Maker, then yeah, I feel like it's more easy. But if you're using something like Sony Vegas like I use, then there's just a lot of little things that it's crazy. And I feel like I can't really talk about it that much because I'm not a very good editor. I've learned over the years. I'm better than I was a couple years. If you want to learn about editing, I could probably make a video on that. It's just I'm not really going to go over it in this video because it's a lot. Just make sure your background music that you use is like lower than the voice actor. Just mix it really well and then you're kind of good on the editing part. Just make sure everything is timed well and make sure it's not rushed. I mean, sometimes it does happen, especially to me it happens a lot because most of the stuff I make is on like a time limit. But if you're not on a time limit, just go over the episode a couple times and make sure everything just sounds perfect and right for you too. And now I think we're done, but I hope you use some of these tips. I'm sorry, I tried explain them the best way I could. My process is a little weird and you might have a whole different process and that's okay, but this is just the way I do things that really have helped me a lot. Thank you all for watching and sitting through this long video. I haven't recorded this long in forever. I've been sitting here for like a whole half an hour trying to figure out what the heck I'm trying to say. But I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to let me know what you think below. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, Happy New Year too. Again, 2020. Let's do this.